Welcome back to Max's Garage Mahal. Today we're going to bring you a WAHL hair clipper that when the cord was moved, the WAHL would hesitate or stop. And what the problem was right here. Now from here to here, it had a little hard rubber piece over it that kept this from breaking off right at the end of the clipper. But this one started breaking right here. It's real easy to move, which means the wire inside was broken. And here's what the wires look like, little tiny wires. These look like they're 18 gauge. And on the inside, the switch also had two little metal prongs that run down inside the switch. And as the switch moved back and forth, it either make contact or it would turn it off. So those were slightly loose, although that was not the problem. So what I did is I took a razor blade and I sliced the side of this strain relief, pulled that off. I cut out the wire back about, well, it looks like about 5/8 of an inch back toward the plug-in right here, toward the wall, and then I replaced that wire. And as you can see here, I used shoe glue so what you put soles back on your shoes and to tighten up the welts and stuff. Shoe glue to reinstall the strain relief. And I used zip locks or zip ties in order to keep that compressed until those are hardened up and that thing won't come back off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove a couple of these. So I'm going to stop the film. You're used to me stopping the film here. I'm going to stop the film, remove a few of these zip ties, just enough where I can get the clipper put back together. We'll plug it in and see if moving that around stops the machine. If not, then I've still got work to do. But if it does, the WAHL hair clippers are back in business to be used for the, I think this one is 42 years old, so maybe if I can get another 42 years out of it, that means someone probably after I'm gone will have another 30 years or so left to use it. So be right back. Okay, this is what it looks like inside once it's all put back together. Again, we took this out, and I did borrow about half as much, probably the same amount as this right here, and I left it on the switch end since that was still a good shape, and I just soldered that back together and covered it with shrink wrap, as you can see right here. And over here it didn't require shrink wrap because it has, as you can see where I soldered it together, it has a factory insulator, and that's the ground side, so it really didn't matter anyway. Okay, so let me pop the cover back on and making sure the ground wire stays inside. There we go. Now I'll just hold that top on, because that'll be good enough for us to test it. And we've got to get the rat's nest of the cord untied here. It never fails if you're on film live. Well, I'm live right now. I won't be live when you see it. Well, maybe. Let's hope we are. Let's see what my MRI says tomorrow. Tell me if I'm live or not, or going to be live for a while. Here we go. Hey, boys and girls, I think we got a winner. Okay, so that's all there is to it to fix one of your appliances. Now this happens to be a WAHL brand hair clipper. Had like, there it is right there. This thing had like, oh, I think 15 or 16 different attachments, angle deal and trimmer edger and all that stuff. Mustache, didn't have a nose hair clipper, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these, and I always remove these in such a manner that I can reuse these things many times. And it took me about 2 minutes to get back to you guys because one of them was glued to the boot shoe glue, and let me tell you, it did not want to turn loose. So hopefully, and I could probably get a little more detailed on this. Okay, the switch again. Let me show you the switch. I'm going to unplug it. I should show you something else I did do that you would want to do if you're really good with your soldering gun. Inside the switch here, alright, let me get my finger out of your way because I think there it is. I've got to get where I can see it. Okay, there's your switch, and down there, right there, you can see where the two wires come together. I'm having to do this backwards. You can see where those wires go down inside those two little metal prongs. What I did was, those things, they were not losing contact, but to make sure and to guarantee they didn't, for as long as this wire here will last, I went ahead and heated up those metal prongs, and I put a drop of silver or solder inside each one of those. And I don't know if I can make that any easier for you to see or not. Let's see. I think you can see the two silver spots right in here, right at the end of each one of those wires. And that's the solder I put in, and that tightened those wires up really well. And it actually solidified those two metal prongs that go down inside the switch. It tightened that up somewhat. So that was a problem waiting to happen. So on most of your electric machines around the house, whether it be a heater or a toaster, microwave, or whatever, if it's getting loose connections, if you can solder it up, 99% of the time that's going to solve or resolve your problem. And if you see the problem is about to exist, go ahead and eliminate that problem, pre-eliminate that problem by going ahead and soldering it up, putting some, I don't like to use tape if I can help it. I always cut the wire and put shrink wrap over it, solder the wire back together, and then going where I need to solder the wire that was the problem, make that shrink wrap long enough to go over the cut where you took it apart, put it back together, and all the way down to the point. Let's say you've got a contact point here, and this is part of the machine, you can't get to it to do anything else, so you cut back here, it needs to be soldered here, put you some shrink wrap back here, solder this joint back together, and then slide that shrink wrap over this joint and here, shrink it, and then you've resolved the problem before it happens. So if you can see the problem, you know the problem is going to happen, eliminate that on the front end, and I think you'll be a lot happier. And if I have something around here that I can work on for you that you need to know about or would like to know about, put it in the comments below. I'll do my best to drag it out, see if I can at least take it apart, show you what it looks like on the inside, and then show you the parts and the problems that could exist, and then we'll try to work backwards. There's no way in the world I'll know what your problem's going to be, but at least if we open one up and we go over the different parts and the different areas, then possibly we'll be able to contact or cover that contact area, so that in the future you see this video, you'll be able to know, or that video, you'll be able to know what it is you're looking for and how to go about repairing it. So if you get anything out of this video, hopefully you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. I'd appreciate you to subscribe if you would, share these videos, and as we always say at Max's Garage Mahal, y'all come back and see me now. You hear?
me true.